As a team, Mercedes has always been known for its consistency. Even during the toughest moment, the team stick together, analyze the situation, and build up a plan. While Ferrari are looking for a new boss, Mercedes has chosen stability, keeping both Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton working on a new concept to make 2023 a real comeback. Would it be possible? Join us to figure out Mercedes' plan and analyze their situation for the next season. After 8 seasons of a complete domination in the sport, the 2022 season was a real struggle. Mercedes struggled to find pace. The car bouncing was a real nightmare, very difficult to get rid of. Fans remained helpful, waiting every time for a kind of surprise, then for a single win. Until the last race, the major regulation changes and the new generation cars turned Mercedes' performance upside down. On the other side, Red Bull were able to win the second title, aiming to add the third one. If achieved, the team's young talented driver Max Verstappen would become the 6th driver in the history of Formula 1 championships to win 3 consecutive titles. However, this won't be so easy. Starting the preparation for the 2023 season with a development penalty for exceeding the last year's cost cap, 10% of the team's aerodynamic development allowance and wind tunnel were reduced. Commenting on this, Max Verstappen believed this penalty will hurt his team. In a recent interview with the German publication Automotor, the 2022 Formula 1 World Champion expressed his concern, but at the same time, his deep confidence in his team managers and car too. It's going to hurt us, but I'm confident that my team will get it right and we will have a good start. We know where to start and what to work on. If we are at a loss as to which direction to go in, it would be an even bigger problem. We will find out over the year how much we actually suffer. Our car was competitive. If we keep the momentum going, it should be fine. Verstappen's 2022 season was a record-breaking one. The Dutchman was able to claim 15 victories, being the first driver to mark the highest number of wins for a single season. Though, he still finds it hard to predict the next season, especially with the car development process still going on. The cars are still new in a way. There's still a lot of development potential in them. That depends on many factors. Ask about the next season's main rival to Red Bull as a title holder, Verstappen find it early and difficult to judge, and talk about Ferrari and their preparation for the coming year. Kind of excluding Mercedes as a possible rival for his team, maybe looking to the technical state of their car at the end of the last year's season. With Ferrari, it's hard to say how much more they have developed this year. The engines, but it is still happening there. That's why it's hard for me to name the main rival. The 2022 World Champion find having a single dominant car is the best option. When asked if he prefers facing challenging rivals or domination, sometimes yes, sometimes no. In certain situations, I wish for it, but sometimes it's just nice to have a dominant car. In general, I hope that the field will get closer together. But Formula 1 fans won't definitely go for that option, especially Mercedes fans who are waiting for a strong season. Analyzing the last season's data, Mercedes cars' issues were clear and identified during the races. The aerodynamic porpoising, then the floor design issues revealed ahead of the last rounds. Many solutions were proposed by Alien, and the team's technical staff tested and modified continuously. On the other side, Mercedes' reliability was something they should be proud of comparing to their rivals, while Red Bull and Ferrari struggled from early reliability failures. In the Bahrain opener, both Verstappen and Perez retired in the closing laps. The Dutchman also retired from the round 3 in Australia. In Canada, Perez would also take an early bath, as Mercedes were almost bulletproof with just one mechanical DNF through the entire season. Ferrari suffered multiple failures at the key point during the early mid-part of the season and were forced to turn down their power units to stop them from expiring in the later races of the year. Mercedes now will need to work on more performance while keeping the excellent reliability record as an advantage. Another advantage for Silver Arrows would be the simulation, as Red Bull will only be allowed 63% of simulations, with Mercedes enjoying a 17% advantage with 80% of the full allocation. Also, as constructors champions, Red Bull were already set for a prescribed lower quantity of development time on the sliding scale that has been introduced, with a 10% penalty giving both Mercedes and Ferrari even more of an advantage over the Christian Horner squad. Actually, the reliability isn't the only thing to count as an advantage for Mercedes. There is a very important factor that could be turned into a main one, which is the team spirit. While Verstappen is firmly cemented as number 1 and will not in any way be challenged at Red Bull by Perez, it is a different scenario at Mercedes. There is a special dynamic chemistry between Hamilton and Russell, as one passes on all his knowledge and experience to the young talent who's supposed to push the team team forward during the second half of the decade. Russell took Mercedes' only pole position in Hungary and only win of the season in Brazil. Some took this as a stress or pressure factor inside the Brackley squad. However, the relationship between the two is different, with the driver certainly open to team orders if the situation requires such intervention from the pit wall. As Ferrari at the moment face a difficult instability changing to a new boss, Frederic Vasseur, it is Mercedes who are best placed to challenge Verstappen and Red Bull in 2023. Toto Wolff, Mercedes team boss, reveals some details about the new car, confirming that they will be retaining the zero-side pod idea to challenge next season's RB18 from Milton Keynes. Wolff started already receiving critics about this. However, he has previously stated that the W14 of the 2023 will have different DNA to the W13 as Mercedes look for having back the title loss to Red Bull in 2022. Mercedes boss explained to media including Racing News in Abu Dhabi, "I go in the wind tunnel and I say the thing looks exactly like this year's car, but they say to me it's very different underneath. It's about the airflow, the weight distribution, the aeromat. Our car fundamentally changed mid-year. We changed the concept, but you couldn't see anything on the bodywork. I think the narrow side pod concept is like a red herring. It's full of surprises. The last time I saw it in the wind tunnel, like they told me, it's not the same." Fans hope Brackley squad will make sure to avoid any kind of bad surprises during the next season while working on the W14 car concept, learning from last year's lesson. What's your opinion about Toto Wolff's statement? Do you think Mercedes will be able to come back to the front fighting for the title against Red Bull and Ferrari? Tell us your opinion in the comment section below. We will be reading all your comments. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to receive the newest Formula 1 news, easy. Subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. Thanks for watching. That was all for today's video, guys. See you next time.